Hello and welcome back. So, since last episode, I've had a bit of a think about the design for my main bus. And basically, for the research bus, I think my issues before were about trying to design something that would work for all bits of the research. But as far as I can tell, there are basically three bits of it. There's a part of the research which is high volume materials, so the ore, the plates, the green circuits, and a few other things. Then there's a bunch of intermediates, which are sort of medium volume, in that they take in quite a lot of material, they don't necessarily produce very much material. And then there's the stuff which is trivial in quantity, but of course vitally important to the war effort, like the actual research packs. Oh, there's another one. What's going on there? So I cleared this out, but I don't know if yeah, that was a worm. Let's zoom in. Yeah. So I don't know that I got all the worms. There we are. I sort of don't care about worms because they don't expand. I would care about spawners. I like this train. Right, so let's zoom out so we can see what's going on. All right, I've come out to about here. What I'm thinking is I've got some resources over this way, which I'm going to want to mine out. I've got some resources over this way that I'm going to want to mine out. Then I have basically this dead space here that I can't do much with. There's a 14 million iron ore there. So what if I put the beginnings of my research somewhere around here? So I'm going to call in the wall train because that has lots of construction stuff in it. We'll get there eventually. Oh, that doesn't seem to be the right book. I seem to have two books of useful stuff. Right, we need to merge those two books at some point. And this is the landfill. No, what I want now is to trick the wall train coming here, so that's north. Okay, got some damage. Damage is coming from down south somewhere. So fingers crossed, there should now be a train coming in here. Yep, we have the landfill train and the outposting train. Brilliant. I need both of those. And it looks like I've been running for a little while without large poles, so I'll have to go back and fix that. Let's put this suit back on for a bit. This is the suit I will be using for the big builds. It's got some ports, one lot of legs, and then lots of batteries. The idea is that once the batteries are charged up, I should be able to do reasonably large amounts of building. And also have a reasonable build range. Okay, that one up there. Do I have power? No, we haven't gone far enough. Oh, and also I need lights. Grab one of those. Right, and I'll grab some landfill when I go back. Here we are. So I don't actually know what build size of this. Okay, so it's almost a screen height, definitely not a screen width. Let's grab landfill. Now, this train track I'm putting down now may end up getting ripped up. This is really just to get some stuff out into this area. Right, I want all of this land filled. Get the bots to start it. Okay, so where are we? So I'm thinking somewhere around here I will start the research bus. I'm above the line of that 14 million ore, so that's fine. the way this is going to work is there's going to be a 4-lane train track going along here. This is our ore bus. So this is going to bring in the iron and copper ore. And that ore bus is never going to become part of the train track for the research materials. Okay, so let's see if we can find the right bit of blueprint. This is the one. So this goes from 2 tracks to 4 tracks. Let's drive this up. And I must be out of stuff. Yeah, I'm out of rail. And there's none in there. So I need rail and I need more landfill. This track is set up for 8 carriage trains, so the signals and all the rest of it are further apart. Okay, let's delete this. Oh, I've run out. I really am out of room. Right, well, we'll put down some of this landfill, which will sort out the inventory problem. And then I think I can put some more of this down. I'm unapologetic about landfilling with bots. I really don't care. It's about having an easy life. Right, and we can replace that blueprint. You can't blueprint over blueprinted landfill. Worth knowing. Right, can we finish off the rail this side? No, because I'm out of rail. Right, I need to be in this train, but I need the landfill train to be following along. I wish there was an easier way to hook trains up to one another. Okay, grab all that. So this can now go back to landfill as and when it gets a route. And I'm out of... This is the problem with doing things this way. Let's put one of those back. Grab these. And if I run up here, no, I can't get that yet. Right. Put all this down. The blueprint should fit now. Yes, it does. That's down fully. Great. Pick up the tired bots. There we are. Pick up this poor train station. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's try again. That's it. Okay. So then back to the rail book. Let's have a segment 4. that landfill in a minute. There we are. So we'll put down a bit of this track. And then in a minute I'll get bored of laying this and we'll go back to starting to lay out our new research bus. Okay. Let's just check that we've got, yeah, we have got that land filled. Occasionally you get little squares which aren't done. Okay. So, which suit am I in? Yeah, this is the build suit. I don't have enough batteries, it seems. They weren't really charged to begin with. We will find a way. I'm going to carry on playing around with these configurations until I find one that behaves. Okay, nearly there. There we are. Okay, let's see where we are on the map. Okay, so we've passed the 14 million patch down here. I think I'm going to carry on going a bit more, because this is the line which all this material will be brought down onto. So I want to go far enough so that we've definitely got it. Rail, don't need all that rail. Wish there was a better way to pick these things up. Okay, on we go. Okay, so the plan I've got is that there are a few items which are really high volume. You get through a lot of them. Oh, we've done artillery shell range 5. Awesome. All right, so that means our auto fire range is significantly increased. And we are now barraging the living daylights out of things. That's very cool. Okay, so hopefully killing lots of little worms from inside my perimeter, but also pushing back nests outside my perimeter. Wow, look at all that. We're about to get a big wave of attacks, I think. They will not like that. Okay, well anyway, that's really pretty, but not really the job at the moment. So I'm just going to pick up these, and then I'm going to flip over to another window. So, where are we? And of course, I didn't shut down everything that's running on my computer. All right, so let's bring that over to here. Okay, so this is Factorio Planner. What I did was stuck in 10,000 science packs a minute. Now that's obviously an unrealistic objective, but it did give me a good set of numbers to work with. So if I build a base which has the infrastructure to handle at least this, then it will definitely handle 2K or 4K science packs, which I actually end up running. Mining productivity 51 completed. Awesome. So the numbers here are quite eye-watering. So we are processing over 1 million iron plates a minute with this setup. We are doing nearly 10,000 electric engines, and we are doing 160,000 plastic bars. Okay, and then we're doing more than half a million copper plates a minute. So these are big ticket items, and they're going to require a lot of resources to make and a lot of trains to shift. But then you have other items. So for example, the low density structure takes in 58,000 steel a minute and 30,000 of copper and plastic, but only produces 8,000, right? So we're taking in probably 32 train carriages a minute of material to produce 2 train carriages a minute of product. They probably don't stack like I'm thinking, but you get the idea. Similar with speed modules, you're taking in nearly 100,000 circuits a minute of reds and greens, and you are producing 2 and a bit train carriages a minute of speed modules. So you have the big ticket items like copper, where you take in a shed load of items and produce a shed load of items. Then you have things like speed modules, which take in a good number of items and produce a very small number of items. Then you have the stuff like the research potions, which produces 10k items. Depending on how you slice this, you put in 14k because you put in arms and plates, or you put in the materials for this and this, but that's maybe 40,000, I don't know, I haven't added it up. So you're still not dealing with massive amounts of stuff. So the thought is, what if the ore was brought into smelting on a dedicated resource collection train network, which is the one we're starting to build the backbone of now. That brings resources into a high volume production bus, and the high volume production bus uses 8 carriage trains, and it does things like the copper and the green circuits. So let's see if we can find green circuits on here. Green circuits takes in 300,000 of plates and 9 or nearly a million of coils, but so it's 300,000 of plates, of iron plates, and 300,000 of copper plates, right? So that's a lot of stuff. So that's 3 or 4 trains a minute of each for a sensible length train. You don't want that trundling through the middle of all your other stuff. In fact, you want that to be as close as possible to the smelters. So what I'm planning to do is set up a high volume production bus for the high volume items, which then ends and feeds into a low volume production bus for the low volume items. And the high volume production bus is going to use trains with 8 carriages. I don't know if they're going to be 181 or 282, something like that. The ore will either be brought in on 8 carriage or 16 carriage trains. Then the small ticket item bus will be done on 4 carriage trains. Okay, so that is the plan. Now, I wanted to show you something else just to get a feel for how this works. And of course I can't, here we are. Okay, so these are diagrams of how things break down. So the iron plate is the biggest numerical value item. So over 1 million iron plates. Nearly half of it goes into steel, then the rest of it, most of that goes into green circuits. So you want your iron plate smelting right by your green circuits and your steel production, as close as you can get them, on with big fat trains linking them. Then a not inconsequential volume of that goes into military science, mainly to make your artillery turrets, your gun turrets. And again, a not insubstantial amount goes into blue science to make mining drills. So I think what I'm going to do is place my mining drill and turret production on the same stretch of track as the iron plate production. And then you get down to these items like engines, green science, blah, right? But these are these top out at 20 odd, 26, 30, right? So 30 is your max here. And a 4-carriage train is going to take 16, so that's topping out at 2 trains a minute. These ones down here, it's a train every 2, 3, 4 minutes. So basically we can take a line here where it needs to be on the high volume bus. The stuff down here can probably be on the smaller bus. So that's iron. The next largest item by number of things is electronic circuits. Just over half goes into making processing units. The rest goes into advanced circuits, and then speed modules is the biggest of the remaining items. Again, we're down to 40,000, so we can fit this in 1 or 2 trains a minute with 4-carriage trains. So this is the 8-carriage train bit of this. Then copper plates, so more than half a million of those. About 2/3 of it, I don't know, I can't do the percentage in my head, goes into making the electronic circuits, so straight into green circuits. So we want our copper plate production next to our green circuit production. Then we put quite a lot into red chips, and then they are 3 consumers of non-trivial amounts down here. So high-tech science needs copper cable. Military science packs, a chunk of it goes into gun turrets, and then some goes into low-density structure. All right, so low-density structure is also a major consumer of steel. Sorry, of plastic. So plastic goes into advanced circuits and low-density structure. So this is arguing that low-density structure should be on our high-volume bus because it's really sucking in chunks of material from that. Plastic obviously wants to be a neighbour of red circuits. Coal goes into plastic and grenades. It's 60,000 into the plastic. By the time we're down to grenades, 40,000, so that's starting to drop below our panic levels. So I think grenades could potentially be made on the low volume bus, certainly on the transition from high to low. Coal is one of our resources which will be brought in on the really, really big trains from the outside world. Okay, then advanced circuits, so that's your blues. Sorry, that's your reds. Sorry, advanced circuits are the red circuits, less than 100,000 of them. So they go into speed modules firstly, secondly processing units, then a trickle into electric furnaces and Science Pack 3. So we want a nice co-locality between advanced circuits and speed modules. Processing units is less important. And then here we are, steel. Steel goes into low density structure. Then the rest is not really worth arguing about, right? So this can go in on 2 or 4 carriage trains. This one we probably want to put in on 8 carriage train. So steel and copper and plastic all feeding into low density structure, all within this high density bus. All right. So let's go back to Factorio. If we can find it, here we are. We appear to have some damage being done. Ah, that's just upset natives because they're being shelled. Boo-hoo-hoo, it's all so terrible. Being shelled. Yeah, this range increase is quite substantial. It's really pushing out. And you can see all these stations are now white, which means that they have used up all of one of their resources, almost certainly the shells. And if we zoom in here, hopefully, there's our shell. Oh, we've actually backed up on shells. Brilliant. So we have produced all the shells we need. We're just waiting on the boom trains to come back. The boom trains are... goodness knows. Let's ask the station. They're all off helping things shoot, which is great. Okay. So, while I've been pontificating, this has built the bit I asked it to build. That's it. Out you go. So I'm thinking this suit could maybe do with even more batteries. I don't know. I don't know the right way to do this. I've never splashed out on different suits for different jobs before. So I keep building suits which are a bit of a compromise. Maybe when these batteries are charged up, I'll take out one of the 2 remaining fusion reactors. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So I'm aware I'm whittering on. The high volume bus is the one I've actually drawn out on a piece of paper, and obviously I can't show you a bit of paper. But the idea is there's going to be a left hand and a right hand side to it. All right, I think that's far enough for that. So we will, and I'm wondering where to bring it up. I think I might bring it up here. I want it to go through, yeah, just in case I want it to go through. So let's reverse up and see if we can find where I waved at the map. And then we'll drop in another one of those big T-junctions, except this will be a 4 to 4. Okay, so we will find in the book the 4 to 4. That would go there. Can we drop that in? There's a couple of signals that need replacing. I'm not sure if I really like putting that back to back. But I don't know if I want to put in a full T-junction. I don't really want to put in a 4-way crossing. Let's see. This is the problem when you haven't got things planned out in advance. All right, let's go down here. All right, go up here. Oh, there's a bit of landfill that's missed. We can hopefully plop this back over. There it is. Right, we're going to need landfill to finish this off, so that's a good place to finish this side for now. Okay, so where else could we put this? I could move over one segment, and we can hope that the builds won't grow far enough to the right to trample over that. All right, let's go back. At the moment, there's nowhere for these other trains to do U-turns, which probably makes them sad. So let's back up to here. That's where the next place for a junction would go. So this needs to be a 4 junction. Yeah. So that would go there. There's a couple of signals to take out. Okay, so that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, the only things that are red are rocks and trees. Grab that. Now, what do I need in the way of signals? I am probably out of chain signals, because these big junctions just eat chain signals. Okay. Back up over here. And up. Right, now I'm in 2 minds at this point. The high volume bus is obviously going to get through a lot of material, and 2 lanes is not going to be sufficient, so I need 4 lanes. But, and this is the thing, right, so let's put in 1 segment of this just so that we can see what's going on. Okay, so this is our 4-lane right-hand drive with, so it's got 2 right-hand drive lanes on the right, 2 left-hand lanes on the left. Obviously they rotate round to make left-right. But our production areas are going to be constantly consuming and emitting trains. And what I really want is to have two double lane tracks rather than 1 4-lane track, if you see what I mean. So I kind of want a right-hand drive track, then a gap, then a right-hand drive pair of tracks. And I'm not sure the right way to sort that out. And then we will have production areas coming off from one right and left to this way, and the other right and left to this way. Anyway, let's put this down. I can always rip it up later if I don't like it. So, I'm wondering if maybe the right way to do this is to have 2 pull-offs. One going to the iron side, one going to the copper side. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's rip this up. Well, rip up the outside, because we're definitely not going to be using the outside. Right, I want some lights. And yeah, I don't think I want a 2-lane pull-off, because that makes things, that forces trains to make choices quite early on. I'd rather trains had the option to make choices as late as possible. So I think what we're going to use is the 4-track to 2-track segment. This one. There we go. Okay. So this was a junction which took in 2 lanes and compressed and spread it out to all 4 lanes. What this is a full 4/4 lane T-junction, but then we are compressing the outer 2 lanes down. And let's jump in here. So I'm not sure if that provides a benefit in this case. I'm looking at where this train gets stuck. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts to this. And our incoming ore trains are going to be 8 plus something. And I kind of want them to have cleared this before they have to make choices about compressing down. But the idea is that 2 trains could be coming off this before they compress down. So maybe the solution is to do one stretch. Yeah, I'm going to do one stretch of 4-lane. Then, sorry for the indecision here. I've never designed this before, so it's all quite exciting for me. So what we're going to do is take that out, take that off, and that, and that, and that. Right, we are going to go back to this. Okay. Then we're going to put one of these on top. So that gives the ore trains plenty of time to have fed into this before they have to compress down. And the only thing that should be heading this way is copper ore trains. Okay, and then we can put in our first T-junction for a production center. So this is going to be copper. It will be, and we're now out of rail. Okay, so let's look on the map. Brilliant. So then what I'm going to do is put in this same junction here. We are going to bring it up. I'll actually bring it out here. Now that's going to take us right into this. Ah dear. It's this little access road that's causing us trouble. So I think I'm going to scrub this junction. Find a quick and dirty way to bring the trains in. And then put a second one of these here facing upwards. This is going to have the junction pointing out for iron. This is going to have the junction pointing in for copper. And that's going to be our basic design. Okay, so that's the plan. And I think I can probably leave the episode here and you can see this when it's a bit more sketched out. All right, thanks very much for watching. Sorry there wasn't a great deal to see today. This is one of those times when we are just scratching around. Oh, before I do that, I should have put down a train station here so we can come back easily. Okay, back on automatic. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is come back here. I'm going to rip out this junction, put in some really dirty, quick kludge to be able to get trains in and out. Then I will put this style junction above and run a line up, same style as this. I will flip that point to the right, I will put this one pointing to the left, and that will be our copper and our iron production. And that will be the beginning of our research bus. Thank you very much for watching. I hope things become clearer as we move forward. All right, all the best and see you soon.